Tommy, initial thought, 3 points in the bag, that's the main thing.
That's it. That's my thoughts. Delighted with the win. It doesn't matter how you get them. I don't think we played as well today as we did against Farsley Celtic, would you believe? And yet, the 1,500 people who've been in here have gone on really up because we won 3-0, as I am. But I just felt we didn't reach the standards we've set as a group for the 90 minutes. But to be able to win 3-0 whilst doing that is a massive positive. You know, we move on to the next games quickly as we moved into this one. You know, we've had a really good week. We've had 2 points on the road and a home win, which is as good as I can ask for, really. We could have won away from home both the games, but to come back and back up the two good performances, if not the best results, the points on the board and another 3 is what we're after.
And if you can win a game not being at your best, then that's a positive.
It's a huge thing, that. I mean, look, I've never ever questioned the lads' application, effort, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes you have players who are technical players and they have days off, you know, because their touch isn't quite there or whatever. But then I want them to work harder at that. But then I need to get something out of them if they're not giving me what I know they can on the ball. So that's, you're going to angle as to why I made the changes at half time. That's why it was. We just weren't retaining the ball well enough. I don't think it got that much better in the second half, to be honest with you. But we've managed to find a way of scoring 3 goals and 3 good goals.
The free kick from Mike Clean at the end was just absolute quality.
Yeah, it was. I mean, again, that comes about because Golden Mateo does ridiculously well to pull a ball out of the sky, take an excellent touch and gets fouled. But we didn't have enough retention with any player with their back to goal today, and we had 5 players who played in them positions today. Not one of them, in my opinion, did well enough with their back to goal. Something we all work on.
Why do you think that is? Because they all seem to be the same situation for all of them.
Yeah, and some of them aren't players who particularly like to have the back to goal, but that's part of the job when you play at the front end of the pitch, isn't it? So, you know, it's one of them things. It's something that they learn from. They learn that I don't accept the way they've tried to do it today, but I trust them, and I'll be picking them again on Tuesday. So, you know, they need to put it, like I said, we'll move on from the game as quickly as this comes out under my nose, and we go to the next game. So, delighted. I don't love it, but I am.
You were sitting near us, we could hear your frustrations throughout the game.
That's just me. I mean, listen, my standards are higher than anybody's at this football club. Have been, because I've been lucky enough to be involved in the game at the level of, you know, above this. So that's just frustration. There's not a lot of that talk is nonsense, to be honest with you. It's rubbish, and I know, but I can't. If I don't let it out, it's in there, innit, and I get a headache. So it has to come out. I try to keep the P's and Q's quite P&Q-ish, but every now and again I know 1 or 2 words slip out that shouldn't.
Jordan Ponticelli back on the score sheet, but there were 1 or 2 occasions as well when maybe he and Aaron were a bit too hurried, a lack of confidence.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I mean, it shouldn't be, because I stress to all of our lads, look, I'm not bothered who scores the goals. We're the highest scorers in the division. Every one of my players, bar Kyle McFadden, I think, and Ty Fleming, who were centre-halves, and haven't played all season, the pair of them, everybody else has scored goals. So I think one of our centre-halves has got 7, one's got 5, I think. So I'm not bothered about them scoring goals. I want them to contribute what they're very, very good at. And one of Jordan's attributes is his fitness and his mobility and his energy, and that pulls people around. Same with Aaron Cosgrove. He's like a whippet. He's very, very quick. Josh Barrett and Ben Stevens are technically superb footballers, but when them lads aren't having great days, then you have to grind. And you know, I think we've grown out a really good 3-0 win. That's what I think we've done.
There were periods of sloppiness which put the defence under pressure, but Coulson and Crowther again.
Yeah, and Fleming. I thought young Ty was excellent today. I thought he had more the ball than anybody in the first half, and he didn't have a lot of options. That's what I was getting frustrated at. But I thought the 3 centre halves in particular were bang at it, and I thought the goalkeeper was excellent. I thought he was assured. I thought he was confident in his positioning. He didn't have a lot of saves to make, but his positioning was such that he mopped a lot of balls up, just getting into the box. And against a team like that was important, because it was something that he looked for. They got a hell of a lad on the right hand side. He's proper quick, you know. He's Olympic quick. So I thought Tommy did very, very well.
And they dealt with the physical presence of Dave when he came on. He's a big unit.
Yeah, he's a big unit. And listen, for as frustrated as I was with our performance at the front end of the pitch, Goldie was unbelievable in our defensive set plays. I don't think in the first half he didn't miss a ball, you know. So like I said, the game's all about the two ends of the pitch, and we've managed to put 3 in there and keep 1 out there, which is massive positive for us, you know.
And it was key that the win to take into Tuesday. Huge game coming
In
up.
your eyes, it's a different game, it's a different mindset from us. I told the players there's no cup finals between now and the end of the season. There's no games where you can get more than 3 points. We just move on and play the next 9 games. We've won the first, we look to try and win the second.
But there's any patching up to do? Oh, you won't know that until, I guess, until tomorrow or Monday.
Yeah, there's a couple of knocks, but they're knocks. Ben Stevens took a heavy one in the first half. I think Theo took one in the second half. Goldie certainly took a couple, always does. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to add to that lovely list that we have already in there.
But it's the mindset from the players, isn't it, to look ahead to this game. We should relish what's coming up on Tuesday.
Well, I hope the place is rocking. It was great crowding. I know there was a lot of youngsters in today for the Academy Day, but I hope a lot of people come back on Tuesday night, because it's the biggest game so far in this league this season. You know, the top 2 teams are in at it, I believe. I think we are. Both of those are at the top of the division. We both have the same thing in mind. We want to do the same thing. So I expect it to be a good game. If you were up there, and I know not many of you were, but it was a hell of a game. It was a really good game. The only disappointing thing for me about that game was the injury we got to Paul Jones. But the game itself was a fantastic spectacle for this level of the game.
You appealed for people to come out. They did do so today. But
delighted.
I mean, double would be lovely on Tuesday.
Oh, listen, I hope there's double the amount of people in here. I really do. I mean, I can't see Fyle bringing a whole load, because it's a hell of a long distance to come on a Tuesday. But you know, this is our patch, and they're coming into our backyard, and we want to show them what we're all about. But we do that with every team that comes here. We don't have anything special. You know, we won't be changing a lot because of what they do. We'll try and affect the game in a positive manner and try and win it. If we can't win it, we'll try not to lose it.
Those who are absent today, is there any chance that any of those might be available?
There's a possibility. I didn't think I'd have had Macca back today, actually, because he was one of the lads in the car crash the other day. But yeah, there could be, is the answer to the question. I couldn't tell you who exactly, but there will be possibly 1 or 2 of them back available for the Tuesday game. So
more of a headache for you, but a good headache to have.
Not that much of a headache after that performance, but yeah, you're right. It's a great problem to have. Listen, and the lads who don't start games, I can see there's a visible frustration there, but I can tell them to keep it inside and don't let it out, because it's disrespectful to me for not picking them, but picking somebody else. So being disrespectful to that player. And I like to think that, you know, when let's say I'd pick Jordan Ponticelli and Aaron Cosgrave, I'd like to think that Josh Barrett and Ben Stevens are the first 2 people to go and wish them all the best, because I know when they change over on a pitch, when they get, you know, make substitutions, they're always very, very complimentary to each other. So they don't want to play every minute of every game, but we've had one hell of a schedule, ending with the 8th Tuesday on Tuesday, and if we can get a positive result in that game, then it'll be a great run in.
And just to pick up on a player you mentioned earlier, Ty Fleming, and the frustration of not playing, he's taken his opportunity well and produced the goods. He's
a proper lad. He's a local kid. He's grabbed his chance, to be fair to him, because I'll be honest with you, I was looking to possibly bring something else in, but he's game. He's honest. He'll never pull out of the challenge, by the way. And like I said, he's a local boy, so it's great. Come and support the local lad. Yeah.
Just looking at Tuesday night, you've got. I remember when this club got International League North, it was said to be, you know, something above their station. You're now second in that. Do you think you're punching above your weight still as a club?
I don't know, was my honest answer to that, because the last time I came here, before I became the manager, no, sorry, the second to last time I came, which was a long time ago, it was banging in the Southern League. It was to the rafters on a Tuesday night, or a bank holiday Monday, I think I came, and it was to the rafters. So I don't know. I mean, obviously there's been a change in that period. The whole setup of the club's different, isn't it? So no, I don't think we're punishing them above our weight in that. We are at the level that we are because we are, and I just think we're performing, or we have performed to the best of our ability most of the season. And when you do that, if we get it right with the people who we brought into the club, and we get it right with our tactics, or whatever you want to call that, game plans they call them these days, you'd have to say we're doing well. We're doing well. We're punching above our weight.
That wasn't an insult, by the way.
No. Well, I think we've got more to come. I really do. Like I said, without being disrespectful to any opposition that have come here, we've breezed. Even when we've lost, we've been the dominant side usually. I mean, like I said, I thought we played better against Forsby than we did tonight. but we won 3-0, so I'll take that every day.
I was just looking at five that they've just signed Delfonso, who apparently for quite big money, a lad from Derby who no doubt will cost a quid or two.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite a statement from them, but I'd suggest it's also quite a compliment to Kings Lynn, because they want to keep you at an arm's length.
I'm sure they do, but they can't do anything about what we're going to do on Tuesday night. And listen, after that game, it might be a little bit clearer to some people, but there'll still be, we'll still have 21 points to play for after that. So, look, it's not, like I said, there's no cup finals, there's no 6-pointers, there's none of that in my head and in their head. And we'll do what we do normally. We just attack the game as we try to usually.
I know you don't talk about individuals that much, but Michael Clune had scored one and created two.
Yeah.
And was a bit of Mr. Whippy with his crossing. His corner was a real strong one.
Yeah.
His one for Jordan was a strong one. The free kick, another.
Well, that's why he's on him.
Yeah.
That's why he's on him. We, at the end of the day, listen, he's a top lad. He's another one, local fella. Certainly, he's certainly capable of all of what you've just described there and more, to be fair. And listen, he's been a mainstay in the side. I think with him and Theo and Tom, we've got 3 really good and slightly different midfield players. So, you know, he does what he does very, very well. Michael, he's a good captain too.
Tuesday night, where does that rank since you've been at the club? Is that the biggest, would you say that's the biggest game? Putting aside the FA Cup game against Stevenage?
I don't really look at them, honestly, it sounds like it, but I don't really look at it as any bigger. It's just another opposition who we'll know how they, or we'll think we'll know how they're going to try to play and likely set up, so we will pick a team accordingly. I don't look at it as a bigger game. I mean, I understand why it's talked about because of where we both are in the league. Both teams have had really good league seasons so far. We've also had an FA Cup run which has possibly hindered us a little bit because of the fact that we've had to play Tuesdays in a row. But we've got to just get on with it. We can't, you know, nobody would give up the Doncaster game or the Stevenage game to have played a couple of less games in the last 8 weeks. So it's no bigger game for me, honestly.
When they're signing people like Delfonso, does that give your players more incentive, or will they have more of a point to prove when Ford are bringing players like that in? Or
it's none of our business. It's theirs. It's not my players' jobs or my job to worry or think or try and reason as to why they've gone and done what they've done. That's their job, and I hope it works out for them.